she said. "It didn't mean anything. I am not ready for your life." After I caught her cheating, I stayed quiet, pretending to believe her tears. But when she saw the keys waiting on the desk at closing, the look on her face changed everything. Every relationship has that one person on the outside who just seems to be waiting for it to fail. For me, that person was my girlfriend's coworker. I just found out my girlfriend Taylor of 3 years has been lying to my face for weeks, and I am questioning everything. Let me give you the context. I am an architect. Taylor's finishing her marketing degree while doing a competitive internship program. We have been planning our future together. I was literally buying us a house in the suburbs. I have been supporting her financially through school because I wanted to help her dreams come true. We had this tradition of Wednesday date nights. Sometimes fancy dinners, sometimes pizza and Netflix, but it was our time. We had talk about the house we wanted, kids' names, travel plans. She would curl up next to me scrolling through Zillow saying, "This is our home." Enzo, 3 months ago, I found the perfect 1920s Craftsman with original hardwood floors. Taylor fell in love with it immediately. We drove by it 3 times that week just to look at it again. Then my dad had a massive heart attack. I flew to Nevada immediately for his emergency surgery. Taylor was incredible. The first few days staying on the phone while I sat in hospital waiting rooms, sending care packages. But something shifted after week 1. Phone calls got shorter. Texts went from thinking of you constantly to just heart emojis. Video chats always had excuses: studying, work projects, study groups. I figured she was giving me space to deal with family stuff. By week 3, I felt completely disconnected from her. I needed my girlfriend's support, but every time I reached out, she felt distant. Going through the motions, but her heart wasn't in it. I came home 2 weeks ago expecting to reconnect. I suggested restarting our Wednesday date nights because I had missed that routine. She canceled. Last-minute text. "Sorry, babe. Meeting old high school friends tonight." Rain check? Here is the thing, Taylor almost never hangs out with high school people. In 3 years, she had mentioned maybe 2 people from back then. So it struck me as weird. That night, she didn't come home. I waited until 1 a.m., then tried calling. Straight to voicemail. By 2 a.m., I was genuinely worried about her safety. I checked her location on Find My Friends. We had shared locations for practical reasons years ago. She was in this sketchy neighborhood across town that I had never heard of. She came home at 3:30 a.m., overly cheerful, talking too fast, avoiding eye contact. When I asked about her night, she said, "Great. So good to catch up with everyone." "Where did you guys go?" I asked. "That bar downtown, you know, the one with good wings." 15 minutes later, mentioning maybe checking out that wing place, she said, "What? Oh no, we didn't go there. We went to that other place near Sarah's apartment." The next day, talking to her mom, she mentioned being exhausted from working so late at the office. 3 different stories in 24 hours. I sat her down that evening and gently asked what was going on. I said I was confused about the timeline and just wanted to understand. She completely broke down, full waterworks, hyperventilating, between sobs. She admitted she had been flirting with a coworker for weeks. His name is Jake. He is in her internship program, and they had gone out with work people that night. It didn't mean anything. She kept saying, "You were gone and I was lonely and he was just there." She said she had deleted their text messages because she knew it was wrong. But here's what broke me. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "I am just not ready for your life, Enzo. The house, the commitment. It is all too much too fast. Sometimes, I feel like I am suffocating." This is the same woman who spent hours planning our future, who got excited about paint colors, who said I made her feel safe and loved. "What do you mean you are not ready?" I asked. "We have been together 3 years. You helped pick out this house." She just cried harder and said she didn't know what she wanted anymore. The house closing is scheduled for next week. I have put down earnest money, gone through inspections, everything. My realtor keeps asking about timeline. My mom's texting about visiting our new place, and my girlfriend just told me she is not ready for the life we have been building together, after emotionally cheating while I was caring for my sick father. I keep going back and forth. Is flirting really cheating? Can you come back from this betrayal? Am I naive for considering working through this? Part of me wonders if she is just scared and acting out. Part of me wonders if she has been lying about wanting our future longer than I realize. I love her, but I feel like I don't know who she is anymore. Cancel the house and take the financial hit? Try to work through this? Cut my losses? I am supposed to close Friday and I am completely lost. Girlfriend of 3 years admitted to flirting with coworker and lying about where she was, then said she is not ready for our planned future. House closing next week, and I don't know if I should save the relationship or accept it is over. Update 1. I promise to update you all. I wish I had listened to those who said just run. After my post blew up, I spent 3 days thinking hard about what I wanted. I read every comment. General consensus was clear. Relationship was already over. I just hadn't accepted it. But love makes you stupid. Really stupid. I decided on one final conversation to see if anything was salvageable. I went in prepared to end things. But, well, you will see. I sat Taylor down Wednesday evening and explained I felt completely betrayed not just by the emotional affair, but by her admission she had been feeling suffocated without ever talking to me. Taylor went into full damage control, Oscar, worthy performance, tears, apologies, the whole I almost lost the best thing in my life speech. She said she had been confused and scared, but seeing how hurt I was made her realize what she actually wanted. I want you, she kept saying. I want us. The house, the future, all of it. I was just being an idiot because I was scared of growing up. She begged me not to throw away 3 years over one stupid mistake. Said her feelings for Jake were just a fear response to commitment, not real attraction. Here is my first mistake. I started believing her. She seemed genuinely remorseful, saying all the right things about betraying my trust and understanding why I was hurt. She brought up couples therapy on her own, said she wanted to do the work. So, like an absolute idiot, I gave her one chance. But I wasn't naive about it. I laid out non-negotiable conditions like complete phone and social media transparency next, block Jake everywhere. Only necessary work contact then. Start couples therapy immediately, plus individual therapy for her commitment issues, no more lies. Period. And, full truth about everything that happened with Jake, she agreed immediately. Said she was grateful for the chance to prove herself. That night, she showed me her phone and let me watch while she blocked Jake on Instagram, Snapchat, deleted his number. Their text thread before deletion looked like mostly harmless flirting, definitely inappropriate. But nothing super explicit. For 2 weeks, things seemed better, more attentive, more affectionate, constantly reassuring me she had made a mistake. We had our first couples session, and she was actively engaged, talking about commitment issues. She had started individual therapy twice a week. I thought maybe we could get past this. Maybe this rough patch would make us stronger. Then last Tuesday happened. Working from home, my laptop died mid-project. Taylor's MacBook was on the kitchen counter, so I asked to borrow it. She said sure, no problem. Instagram was already logged in, but not her main account. Some account I had never seen with a different username. No profile picture. Only 30 followers. My stomach dropped because I knew. I fucking knew. Jake's account was first in her following list. Recent activity showed she had liked his photos, including one from the day before. Secret Instagram where she could follow people without it showing on her main account. Jake wasn't the only concerning follow several guys from work. Random dudes clearly sliding into DMs based on message notifications. Turns out they had been texting again after our first conversation. Just through this hidden platform when she got home. I confronted her. Showed her the laptop with the account up. She tried to gaslight me. That is just an old account I forgot about. Taylor, you liked his photo yesterday. That must have been an accident. Instagram does weird things. There are message notifications from 3 different guys. I have no idea. Maybe spam, on and on. Every piece of evidence, she had bullshit explanations. She even started crying and accused me of looking for reasons not to trust her and being paranoid. But here is what got me. She never apologized for having the secret account. Never acknowledged that hidden social media to interact with other men might be a problem. That night, I couldn't sleep. Kept thinking about comments telling me people who cheat once will cheat again. Someone who lies about big things definitely lies about small things. I realized Taylor hasn't changed at all. She just got better at hiding things. House closes in 1 week. My realtor's been calling about move. In dates. My parents are planning a visit. I haven't told Taylor my thoughts yet, but I am pretty sure this relationship is over. Really over this time. Part of me is relieved to have proof I am not crazy. Part of me is devastated that my future wife is apparently capable of looking me in the eye and lying without blinking. You know what though? I am still buying that house. It is beautiful. I love everything about it. Just because she is a liar doesn't mean I should give up my dreams. Time to plan a future that doesn't include someone who thinks commitment is optional when it gets inconvenient. Am I being too harsh? Or is this the wake-up call I needed? Update 2. I don't know how to start this because I am still processing everything from the last 2 weeks. But I promised updates. And honestly, writing this is the only thing keeping me sane. After my last post, many of you said I needed to stop taking Taylor's word and get truth from other sources. You were right. I was still being too trusting. I reached out to Madison, one of Taylor's colleagues I would met at work events. She is a straightforward woman in her late 20s who works as senior coordinator in the same marketing internship program where Taylor and Jake were placed. Always got good vibes from her, genuine. Not into office drama. I texted asking if she wanted coffee because I needed an outside perspective on stuff happening with Taylor. She agreed but seemed hesitant. We met downtown last Thursday. I was nervous as hell because part of me didn't want to know what she would tell me. Madison, I need you to be completely honest, I said. How much do you know about what has been going on between Taylor and Jake? The look on her face told me everything. She got this expression like someone asked her to admit to a crime. Enzo, she started. Then stopped. I really don't want to get in the middle. I am not asking you to get in the middle. I just need to know what actually happened because Taylor keeps giving me different versions. Madison stirred her latte for 30 seconds without speaking. Finally, what has Taylor told you? I explained the flirting story. Group hangout, deleted texts. As I talked, Madison looked more uncomfortable. That is, not exactly what happened, she finally said. My heart started pounding. What do you mean, Enzo? I don't know how to tell you this, but they didn't just flirt. And it wasn't just that one night. What she told me made me physically sick. Taylor and Jake have been hooking up for almost 2 months. Started right after I left for Nevada. Madison said everyone in the office knew they weren't subtle. As senior coordinator overseeing the intern program, she had noticed the unprofessional behavior and considered talking to HR that night. Taylor said she was with high school friends. She was at Jake's apartment. Alone, Madison knew because Jake bragged about it to other guys at work the next day. But here is what broke me. They hooked up at the company Christmas party in December. While I was sitting in a hospital room watching my father recover from emergency heart surgery. Madison said she watched them making out by the bar for 20 minutes. Everyone saw it, Enzo. Some people thought they were already dating. All those phone calls while I was in Nevada when Taylor seemed distant, she was probably with him. All those study sessions and working late, probably with him. Why didn't anyone tell me? I asked. Madison looked genuinely sorry. Most people don't really know you. And those who do, we assumed you knew. Taylor never mentioned having a boyfriend at work, ever. Some people thought you had broken up. That hit like a truck. For 2 months, Taylor pretended to be single while living with me and planning our future. Madison also said Jake has a reputation for going after women in relationships. He had pulled similar stunts with 2 previous interns. Taylor knew this because Madison warned all new interns about maintaining professional boundaries during orientation. I thanked Madison and drove home in complete daze. Taylor was making dinner like nothing happened, smiled and kissed me hello, asked about my day. I realized I was living with a complete stranger. That night, after dinner, I laid out everything Madison told me, didn't accuse or get angry, just calmly stated facts, and asked Taylor to respond. She tried denying it, said Madison was jealous and making things up. But when I pressed on specific details, her story fell apart. Finally, she broke down completely. Hyperventilating, ugly crying between sobs. She admitted she had been seeing Jake since the week after I left for Nevada. It started as just talking, she said. I was lonely and scared, and he was just there. But then one thing led to another and I couldn't stop. She had been planning to end things with Jake and come clean, but didn't know how. Kept saying she loved me and didn't want to lose me, but felt trapped by our life. I felt like I was suffocating. Enzo, the house, the plans. Feeling like I had to be this perfect girlfriend. Being with Jake made me feel free again. I asked what pressure she meant. I had never pressured her into anything. That is just it, she said. You are so good at everything. You have your career figured out, you are financially stable. Being with you made me realize how much I don't have my shit together, and instead of working on myself, I ran away. She had been feeling like this for months but didn't know how to talk to me. Said Jake represented this fantasy where she could be young and irresponsible. The conversation went on for hours. She admitted lying about dozens of things. Work events that were dates with Jake. Study sessions that were hookups. She had been skipping individual therapy to see him, while still attending our couples sessions to keep up appearances. By the end, I realized this wasn't just about cheating. This was about Taylor fundamentally not wanting the life we had built together, but being too scared to be honest. She begged for another chance, said she would end things with Jake permanently, and commit to real work this time. I could barely look at her. I slept in the guest room thinking about what the hell I was supposed to do. House closing is tomorrow. I have decided to go through with it, but obviously Taylor will not be moving in. I think we are really done this time. I cannot build a life with someone who sees commitment as a burden and honesty as optional. The worst part is I still love her, but I am realizing loving someone isn't enough if they are not capable of loving you back the way you need. Update 3. Hey Reddit, it has been a while since my last update, and many of you have asked for final wrap-up. I wanted to wait until I had real perspective. And honestly, it has taken 6 months to get where I can talk about this without wanting to throw up. So here is what happened after my last post, and where I am now, day after my last update. I had the conversation I had been dreading. I sat Taylor down and told her exactly what Madison shared timeline, Jake's reputation, everything. She didn't even try denying it this time, just cried and said she never meant for things to go this far. I had rehearsed what I wanted to say. I cannot build a home on a foundation of lies, Taylor. And I cannot love someone who doesn't actually want the life we are building together. She asked if there was any way we could work through it. Said she would do anything to earn my trust back. But here's the thing, I realized I didn't want her to earn it back. The person who could lie to my face for months while I was caring for my sick father isn't someone I want to share my life with. This isn't about forgiveness, I told her. This is about accepting we want completely different things. You said you felt suffocated by our future, and I heard you. I need someone who is excited about building that future with me. She moved out that weekend. I closed Friday as planned, signed papers by myself, got keys, spent that first night on the empty living room floor just processing. It felt amazing. Not the breakup that sucked, but being in this space that was completely mine, with no lies or secrets. First time I had felt truly peaceful in months. 3 weeks later, I started seeing Dr. William, a therapist specializing in relationship trauma. Best decision I have made in years, I had done couples therapy with Taylor, but this individual work was different, focused entirely on my patterns. Turns out I had serious problems trying to fix people and ignoring red flags because I wanted to believe the best in everyone. Dr. William helped me understand my desire to support Taylor had crossed into enabling. You cannot love someone into being ready for commitment, she told me. When you try, you lose yourself in the process. Key breakthrough came in month 3. Dr. William asked me to describe the difference between how I felt walking into my house versus how I had felt coming home when Taylor lived there. With Taylor, I was always wondering what mood she would be in, what story she would tell me about her day, whether she was being honest, I said. Now I just come home. It is peaceful. That is when it clicked. Real love shouldn't make you constantly question reality. Through Madison, who has become a good friend, I heard bits about how things played out for Taylor and Jake. They made it official 2 months after we broke up. Madison said, Taylor seemed really happy initially, posting couple photos, talking about feeling free, but novelty wore off quickly. Jake is exactly who Madison said, guy who likes the chase more than actual relationship. 4 months in, Madison heard through office grapevine he was flirting with someone new. By Christmas, they had broken up. Madison said Taylor seemed devastated, especially realizing Jake used the same playbook on her he had used on previous other women. The irony wasn't lost on me. She threw away 3 years of genuine partnership for a guy who was never going to give her the security she ultimately wanted. Started dating again 4 months ago. Nothing serious, initially just coffee dates. Getting comfortable putting myself out there. But last month, I met Rebecca. She is a landscape architect who owns her own firm. When I mentioned wanting to renovate my backyard, she got excited and started sketching ideas on a napkin. Here is what is different. Everything feels easy, natural. She has never made me feel like my stability is too much. If anything, she appreciates it because she is building a life she is proud of too. Last week at dinner, she said something that stuck. I love that you know what you want. Enzo, makes me feel safe to want things with you. Completely different energy from someone who saw my life plans as pressure to escape. Dr. William helped me identify specific patterns I needed to change. Trust my gut immediately. When something feels off, I address it directly instead of making excuses. With Rebecca, when she was late to our 3rd date, I simply asked if everything was okay instead of creating stories in my head. Stop over giving early in relationships. I used to offer to pay for everything, help with every problem. Now I let people contribute equally and show me they are invested too. Communicate boundaries clearly. I told Rebecca up front that honesty is non-negotiable for me. And why? She appreciated the directness. Notice when I am trying to fix someone. If I find myself making excuses for someone's behavior or thinking they will change when they are more comfortable, that is a red flag. 6 months later, I am genuinely happy. Not just healing or getting by, actually excited about my life. The house is perfect. Home office setup, exactly how I want it. Taking on more creative projects at work because I am not constantly stressed about relationship drama. Milo, my rescue pit bull, is the best roommate ever. Most importantly, I trust myself again. Trust my instincts, my judgment, my ability to recognize when someone is right for me. Do I regret the 3 years with Taylor? Not entirely. We had good times, and the experience taught me what I need in a partner. But I am grateful every day I found out who she really was before marriage or kids. To anyone going through similar, if you are constantly convincing your partner to want the same things you want, that is not love. That is forcing compatibility that doesn't exist. The right person will be excited about building a life together. They will not make your dreams feel like burdens they have to tolerate. Don't ignore red flags because you are in love. Don't make excuses for someone who lies to you. And definitely don't sacrifice your peace for someone who treats commitment like it is negotiable. You deserve someone who chooses you every day, not someone with 1 foot out the door. This will be my last update unless something major happens. Thank you to everyone who followed along and supported me through this mess. You helped a confused guy realize he deserved better than someone who treated love like a part-time job. Life is good. Reddit. Really good.